Welcome to SMA Pimp My Ride. Today we're going to show you how to do it yourself, how to flip your springs around on your Jazz Easy S to give you more space underneath for your tray, so you can fit more things. It's pretty simple. This is the tray we designed a few years ago when we first got the stroller. Back then they had no tray available, so I had to come up with something so I could store all of Sophia's equipment. Our needs have changed since she's now trached, and instead of a BiPAP, we carried a vent on this. It's actually pretty simple. If you have somebody that can manufacture the tray, I do have all the design specs that I created for it. I could just send you over the specs. So if you have someone with a fab shop, they can build a tray for you, or you could use a guy that we've had manufactured a tray for us. I think he charges like $230. So the total pimping of your ride will cost $230, and the rest is essentially do it yourself. So I'm going to show you a couple of things. This is Sophia's stroller. Just don't grab the bottom. This is Sophia's stroller, and I want to show you the space you're going to gain here. So the head to, can you get that? It's like 25 feet. She's got comfy cushion on there, so it's about 2 feet to the head off of the ground. The reason why I'm showing you a measurement is to show you the change that you're going to get. Also, in this area, this is the tightest part of taking all the equipment. So from the base of the tray to the bar, you now have 10 inches. I think I want to show you the other side, because the challenge for me was always this. That piece right here that goes, before I elevated you have about 7 inches, give or take, to the bottom of the tray, to the top of this piece here. I'll show you when I flip everything back to the way it normally is. That piece is actually into the tray. So now, just by flipping this piece here, you're gaining a lot more space. So we're going to shut it down right now. I'm going to start taking everything apart, reverting it back to the way it was prior to me touching it, and show you the difference that you're going to get just by doing this yourself. Okay, so I have the frame back to the way it was when we purchased it, and all I did was remove the seat, so you can see how low and how tight everything is. I think a good example is how the battery won't go underneath this bar here. A lot of people ask me, why is your bar black? That's where a lot of people keep the battery and the inverter, and just to kind of break contact, electrical contact, I just put electrical tape here just to protect Sophia. It's just another extra measure I did for safety. So I left everything hand tight for ease of video, so the video goes a lot faster than me trying to break everything apart. So here's how we do it. The first step is you want to remove these bolts. I have to mention the set that you have to get is an Allen key set that's metric. Whatever tools you need for this project, if you don't already have them, maybe it'll run you $20. If you have to get an easy out set to get the old bolts out, that could run you $20. So it's definitely a cheaper way of doing things. So let me show you. Right now this bar is flat, right? And if you notice, when we flipped everything, the round part is on the top. So you see the spacing. So here we go. This is eight bolts that we're loosening to modify our Jazz. Okay, we're trying to do this all with limited hands, so bear with us. So right here you see I'm removing this bolt now. They have spacers in between the bolt to make sure that this stays off of the frame. And the reason why I mention this is because the front spacers have a contoured spacer for the round pipe, and on the back it's square, so it's a flat spacer. And that's, you just want to make sure you put the right spacers back in the right positions. So I'm going to pull this. Pull this bolt out. And sorry, we had to move rooms. We were bothering Sophia's video, so we came out here to the living room to tape the final part of this. I'm just going to use my socket set. Remember, I changed these bolts. Okay, should be able to get that out by hand now. So I originally, for your NIV users, the original post I made on this tray was a couple of years ago, and I showed you how we had everything stored underneath, and that was with the BiPAP and everything else. We now use a vent, so we just stick the vent on top of here, and it's perfect. So we got our first bolt out. Now we're going to do this bolt here. Once again, hand tight. You can see the spacer there. I'm going to pop that out. Pop this bolt out. Now we're just going to flip this upside down, right? Now that you see the rounded part is on the top. Put the bolt back in, put the spacer in, pop it right back in that hole. Here we go. Grab our washer or nut. Come to this side. Here's our bolt setup, washer, our nut, and our spacer. Goes right through the bar. Put our contoured spacer back on. So you could almost see the difference in height already that you're going to gain. You know, every inch is critical when you're trying to carry around equipment, and this is just a way a single mom can do this, you know, or a family with a husband who's not necessarily that handy. It's a pretty simple project, you know, even a caveman can do it. So we're going to do the same thing here. Let me break this out. Take this bolt out for the seat. Take this bolt out. There we go. So remember, it's the top bolt over here, right by the rigging lug. Pop that out. That spacer back in. Pop the spacer out. That's done. Put this back together just so we don't lose any pieces. Pop this nut off. Take the spacer out. Now we're going to flip this, right? So now the round part's on the top. through. Here's our spacer, contoured spacer, right? Right through a hole. Now I would just go back around with my socket wrench and my crescent wrench just to tighten these up. But once again, we're just doing it for ease of video. We're just putting everything back hand tight, and I'll go back around and snug everything up at the end. There we go. Oh, gotta put that spacer on. We do that every time. Alright. Hand tight. Grab 2 of these bolts. So now we'll just recatch these threads. Sorry. Try to balance this back. Right, and I should. There we go. Now I'll spin. I'll just snug this up a little bit. Alright, spin it around to this side. We'll do the same thing, we'll just catch these blocks. If this moves on you, don't worry about it. You didn't break anything, it's just a free moving part for the spring. I'm going to turn this around, make sure our threads face out. There we go. Our holes are lined up. And our last one. What do I do with that? And that's it. That's how you change your Jazz Easy. The way I can show you the difference is, if you look underneath, I can now slide this battery right under that bar with plenty of space, so you can fit more things. I just hope that this video helped you, and if you have any questions, we'd be happy to help in any way. So thank you very much. Have a great day.